Yes, it's been a while since we've seen this. All the updates to Mashbox have finally made it into BMX Streets. So I thought I'd just give a quick PSA about what's going on with it, show off what it feels like in BMX Streets, and yeah, maybe talk about how things are going to go in the future. So if you want to access the latest version of the game, go to BMX Streets, betas, then within here you get 2.0 pre-alpha, Streets 2.0. This should basically put what we kind of know as Mashbox in BMX Streets. It's a similar kind of thing with a few little differences, so let's have a look. So when you log into the game, it basically looks like the menu from Mashbox, similar sort of layout. There's a new section called built-in maps, which presumably maybe like Vortex or other people that Mash collaborates with for more official maps. Mod.io maps aren't working at the minute, but your maps under the custom folder do work. So if you pick the very top option, you get this kind of prototype map or test map or whatever it's called, basically based on that area in BMX Streets, that little park. And you'll notice now we have Nina, so we have a new character, and one slight difference from the current version of Mashbox, you don't have the weird kind of legs, feet getting clipped on the frame. Part of the physics is the whole animation thing going on, and the feet returning to the pedals after a trick. Most notably, it's whips. In Mashbox, currently it's kind of broken, so if you don't land on time, so like these, they're kind of like late landings, the foot would get caught on the frame. So one foot wouldn't return to the pedal and you'd just be pedaling around like on one foot. And you'd have to do like a can-can or something. I can't even do a can-can. Do tricks like that to like reset the feet, which was kind of annoying. That's currently still the case, I think, at Mashbox. But with this version, that appears to be fixed. This is maybe the most up-to-date version of the physics. Although if I'm being honest, I don't really notice a huge difference. Or, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell if there's anything new about it that's been moved over from Mashbox. It's maybe more or less the same thing. It's just the whole process of getting this part into BMX Streets has been the main thing. And then from here, we'll finally start getting updates. So as far as I know, Mashbox won't be getting any updates going forward unless there's anything specific that needs testing. Flares still suck. So people that have BMX Streets, you can expect to see all the updates coming your way now. Hopefully with the replay editor and other bonuses that come with the actual paid version of the game. Because I know a lot of people were complaining that they paid for BMX Streets, but Mashbox is better. Okay, some people agree, some don't. But the fact remains, you basically got a free BMX game with modded maps and everything else that worked pretty well. I can see people being annoyed about that. Just kind of goofing around at the minute. But it's from... Whoa, what trick is that? I can't remember what that was. It's like a weird Superman style trick. I can't remember what the input for it is. Okay, it's up. There you go. Realistic. Yeah, there's maybe not much to report on this end in terms of the way it feels. The one big thing is we don't have mods at the minute, and we also don't have the shop to mod your bike. So you're kind of stuck with a very bare bones version of the game right now. Which sucks a little bit. But you do still get the mod maps. So you get something to play around on while we wait. It's been a few days since Mash has updated this. I'm playing this on a Saturday. I think it was some time in the week when everything got moved over. We're just waiting for at least this map to improve. Somebody to make mods, get mods working again. And then we can finally kind of get back into the swing of things. As you can see, my usual tech bullshit works pretty well. I know some people do prefer BMX Streets, especially for transition style things, and also the weight. Some people do sort of complain that the game feels too floaty, and some people say it feels easy. I don't know, I feel like BMX Street's kind of automated a lot of transition stuff for you. And a lot of the tech stuff just didn't work. So maybe don't agree on that front. It does feel floaty, so as soon as the mods get put back in, I do want to lower the gravity. No, increase the gravity even. Because everything feels quite floaty right now. Especially if we can get out. Like if you just do a grind and hop out, it feels crazy ridiculously high. Like that's a pretty big hop. So I usually just use the right stick, press it in. You usually get a bit of a better response. It just feels a bit more weighty if you do it that way. The only problem is you're just constantly pressing the stick instead of doing the regular motion. So hopefully that gets fixed at some point. Maybe have a look at a mod map as well. Okay, so we loaded into Momentum 4.0. I haven't covered this update to the map. I think I went up to 3. There's been a version 4, which has another park. We'll go to that in a little bit. But you'll notice on mod maps you get the helmet guy. I know a lot of people hate helmet guy. I can kind of see why, to be honest. But we just kind of have to live with it. Oh, I was hoping we'd get a stall. Yeah, without mods, you are going to have to float around a little bit. It's unfortunate, but we just got to live with it. Hopefully things will be fixed pretty soon. In terms of the transition stuff though, it does feel pretty good. There's something that's not hugely automated like BMX Streets is, or the original BMX Streets is. He does tend to stick to things pretty well, from what I can see. As long as you don't screw it up like I did. Yeah, like he's adapting to everything. And this was a map, presumably made for Mashbox. But the conversion to BMX Streets seems to have gone well. You actually see the magnets shifting him into the transition a bit there. So there is a bit of work going on in the background, getting things locked. Which can either be a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not a huge park person, so having some of that stuff done for me is maybe nice. I'm not going to complain too much about that. Overall though, does feel pretty good. Obviously though, the big takeaway from all of this is the fact that I'm getting updates in BMX Streets now. I've been waiting a while. A lot of people have been confused. Mash's messaging about the whole reason for Mashbox hasn't been great. I think I've been doing a fair bit kind of explaining that it's just basically a test thing where you get to see daily updates of him updating the physics. But not a lot of people are in the loop or understand. So it's probably easier to just explain this is just a beta branch in BMX Streets rather than a separate game. Mashbox was never meant to be a separate game. Maybe eventually it will be. But for the time being it was just to test all this stuff out. Hopefully some of that gets cleared up now. Also, yeah, Momentum 4.0, this is the new section of the map. Feels really nice. I should actually do a proper video on this. Ouch. You get this nice little like double split curved rail. I didn't do a very good job of getting anything on it there. It's quite awkward, but you can do a few different tricks like that. Or you could just go straight down the middle. A few different options. Another cool thing is you have movable objects. So you can just blast through things like that. There's one or two other gates as well. I think this one is, but you have to hit it from the other side, maybe? You know how, you know, it's maybe like physics-based motion there? So you can like knock it open. You can maybe do grinds and things on top of them as well. This one's open, so we'll maybe see if you can drop down into it. Okay, we overshot it a little bit, we'll go a bit slower. But the potential for... Yep, he did hit it. Kind of crazy physics-based things like moving objects that you could grind on or swing open while doing a stall on top of a fence. Also, like, what would you call it? Like Ninja Warrior or Wipeout or whatever. Those sort of courses. I could see a lot of potential for mod maps that do that sort of thing. Like an assault course that you've got to try and clear with either moving objects or trying to like land in a stall on something as it goes up and down. Go to the next obstacle. There's tons of potential for that sort of thing. So this is one, hopefully, eventual benefit of this whole physics shift. Oh yeah, there's another fence here, which, yeah, you can see open like that. Maybe we can just do a straight grind. Yeah, it works as an actual solid object. I don't remember streets allowing that sort of thing. I think it was a bit busted if people did try and do it. So plenty of cool things that we'll probably see in the future as people get used to putting them in maps, because I'm guessing it's not easy to implement them. Anyway, if I'm going to cover this map, I'll probably do it properly in a separate video. I just wanted to let people know that BMX Streets is getting updates. It's fairly bare bones at the minute, and we don't have mods. So you may not be that enthused about actually using it at the current time. Though then again, Mashbox is kind of broken with the whole foot pedal thing. So if you want a game that feels reasonably solid with slightly floated physics, this is probably the way to go for the time being. And given the pace of updates, it may all be fixed. It may even be fixed by the time this video comes out, because it'll be a few days after filming. But still. BMX Streets, go to the 2.0 pre-alpha branch, whatever the hell it's called. You'll find it. Yeah, get ready for all this to get into BMX Streets properly. Hopefully we'll get that map soon as well, if you haven't seen it. Basically, Mash City is getting redone, at least partially by Rotex. A lot more greenery, vehicles, loads of crazy stuff going on. It looks way better than it used to. So hopefully that will give that map a bit of life. Because there are some nice bits to that map. It's just so dead that it feels a bit weird using it. If all of those updates happen and it actually works out and it doesn't like break your computer because it's got to deal with like millions of cars and traffic and things, that should be a pretty nice end result, especially for people on console. Like, you don't really want the game the way it is now. Getting it after all this stuff has happened is probably going to be for the best. So just hold on a little bit longer and hopefully we'll get there maybe this year. Anyway, enough talk. I'll let you know if anything else happens. Basically, this channel is all about BMX Streets. So anything that does come about, if we hear more about modding and things getting working again, I'll maybe do another tutorial, because the one I have, it's still accurate, it's just maybe out of date in terms of which mods. The process is still the same, so if you do want to get into modding, maybe go into the Discord, but a lot of the tips and ways I said of doing things are still the same. Use Melon Loader, etc, etc. Put in the mod and it all works. Anyway, enough talk. We'll cover that in another video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Yo, so just a little bit of an update. After I filmed the video, I was in the process of editing, I noticed that there is a mod now. It only allows clothing. We don't have a shop or any option for editing parts right now. But same as usual, press N, you get a whole bunch of character related things. You can change the physics, so I've got that set back to 14 again, making things a bit more weighty. There's a spin flip fix, which I haven't really tried before, but it seems to actually do a pretty good job of helping to fix like flare type tricks on transition and things like that. Otherwise, I generally don't touch a lot. But yeah, a lot of the character related stuff works now, so that's a plus. It's pretty confusing at this point, but if you go to the Volution Discord, go to ST Script Mods, you will see here by Boise, it's now called Row Mod. There's some instructions and things to do, especially if you're transitioning from Mashbox. I'll maybe wait and see what happens with this in the future and then do a tutorial on it when things have calmed down a little bit, because it's still all a bit of a work in progress. But it's essentially exactly the same as what you do with Mashbox. You put it in the mods folder for Streets, load it up, make sure Melon Loader is 0.7.0, install that. So just a little information after the fact. Anyway, thanks for watching.